What is up, LinkedIn? Ian Koniak here, and yesterday I had the privilege of presenting on our national sales kickoff, and I presented as the only account executive to the Salesforce Enterprise Group, and the topic of conversation was how to hit the ground running in Q1. And I know for many of us, including Salesforce, we are entering our new fiscal year. Maybe you're on a calendar year, you're starting in January, but it's still earlier in the year for most, sales companies. So today we're going to cover kind of some things you need to be thinking about and doing in order to have your best year yet. And these are proven strategies that I've done for years and years that we deploy at Salesforce, but also I deploy in my personal accounts as well. So let's talk about the first tip, and that's all around mastering your mindset. And there's a few things that go into mastering your mindset, which I will cover. The first part about mastering your mindset is you need to let go of the past, right? When I say the past, I mean a couple things. First, the past means your previous performance, whether you had a great year or whether you had a not so great year. At the end of the day, your performance does not reflect who you are. I think as salespeople, we have a guilty, we're guilty of thinking that we're only as good as our quota. And I know for me, that was how I viewed this for a long time. And it's really a toxic way to look at things if you didn't hit your quota. If you hit your quota, you feel great, and you can also hold on to that, but that doesn't help you this year, right? It's all about, planning for the next year. So you have to let go of the past is a first step in terms of mastering your mindset, right? And that means if you lost accounts, that change that you wanted to hold on to, you know what? They're gone. You got to move on. If you didn't hit your number, okay, let it go. That's not who you are. Focus on the future. Focus on what you can control. Learn from your mistakes. Second tip to mastering your mindset is appreciating the opportunity at hand. If you think you don't have an opportunity, if you're looking at external forces like my territory sucks, or my commission plan sucks, or things were better at this other place, I'm sorry, but you've already lost, right? You have to be excited about the opportunity at hand. And the reality is, I can't speak for other companies, but I know at Salesforce, for example, we started with 10 accounts, then it went to 8, 5, 3, and now I'm down to 2 accounts. Well, if I said, well, I don't have as many accounts, that doesn't serve me well. The way I look at that is, we have a bigger bag than ever to carry, so I need to be more engaged and more close with my clients and deeper in their business and selling to more departments than ever before. And if I had 10 accounts, I would be way too thinly spread. So in our case, less is more. The less accounts you have, the more you can be entrenched in their business, the more you can spend time with key executives across the board. And I just look at it as a positive versus a negative. Every single one of you, I don't care what you sell, you have an opportunity to impact customers' business. You have an opportunity to make a fortune. I promise you, there are people in your company that are making 500,000, 750, a million, especially if you work in software sales. You have an opportunity to go out and crush it. You need to appreciate that opportunity. Stop looking at external reasons why you can't be successful. Look in the mirror at why you need to be successful and take the opportunity at hand. That mindset of, I don't have an opportunity, will kill you, and it will prevent you from working. It will have you show up with an energy that is not conducive to success. So appreciate the opportunity. The third kind of mindset pointer is to know your impact. Know that, through what you sell, through the services you provide, you have an opportunity to truly not only impact your customers and their business, but you have an impact to influence your own company, the colleagues that you work with, the support organization. Everything flows through sales, and salespeople have a tremendous impact to move the needle in so many areas. Where there's power, there's responsibility. And if you have a responsibility to make an impact, you also have a responsibility to think bigger. Stop thinking transactionally around what product and service you can sell. Think bigger around what business problems you can solve, what business impact you can make. How does your product or service help address the key challenges that companies have that ultimately they're going to buy into? Because people don't buy products and services. People buy business outcomes. They buy a promise of doing things better after working with you than before. And that's where you need to focus on, is spending a lot of time understanding your customers and their challenges so you can actually go in and make an impact. Which leads me to my second pointer, which is research your customers. Now, this is more for people that are selling a more strategic product or have a longer sales cycle. In my case, I don't have that many customers. If you have 2, 5, 10, 20 customers, it's critical that you map those customers out into A, B, and C, who are your big bets, and spend the time researching them. So there's a few components of researching them. Number one, you want to know what the company vision is and what the CEO vision is. When I do research, I always look at the company website, I look at their financials, and I'm looking at actually, what's important to them. The second thing you want to do is know the who. Who are the lieutenants, the generals in the company? Not just the CEO, but especially if you're selling to the enterprise, who are in Salesforce. We have 8 departments we can sell into. Maybe your company doesn't have 8, doesn't matter. Ours are sales, service, marketing, IT. We also sell into operations, we sell into finance, we sell into HR, and we sell into consumer insights. So I have those 8 departments who are the VPs, who are the C-level execs, who are the directors in those 8 departments. So now I have 24 people to go after in each account. That means I only have 2 accounts, but I have 50 targets to go after. So identify your key targets, know your CEO vision. Third area you want to research is their challenges and pain points so that you can go in and actually have a value proposition or a pitch that is going to resonate with them. Now, the challenges and pain points could be something they state publicly on their website. I love to listen to interviews with these executives. I love to see what they're saying in the news, because they'll call out, some of what they're working on, but also some threats or challenges or opportunities. But think creative too. You don't have to just see if it's public. Look at their stock price. Is their stock going down, up, or how does it compare to their peers? Look at their employee scores on Glassdoor. Do people like working there? Is employee retention going down? Look at their revenue and their growth or their profitability, right? There's all kinds of challenges that you can call out that clients might not know they have. And then the final thing you want to look at in researching them is the prior history with your company. You want to look at, what have they done with your company? Are there open opportunities that the previous account team have worked on? Are there deals that we lost before? Do we have advocates or champions that are going to be, helpful to us? Are there detractors in the company that are not so helpful, right? So we really do want to understand what that company's done with you. And then the last step is to execute with urgency. And that is key. If you, for whatever reason, if you're like me or like most people, you decide to step into gear in Q4, but what if you had that same energy in Q1 as you do in Q4, when you know you have to hit your quota at the end of the year? What would that look like? Well, I highly recommend a book called The 12-Week Year, in which the author talks about how you can actually, the author's Brian Moore, and how you can treat 12 weeks and get more done in that 12 weeks than most people do in a year. So it's all about acting and executing with urgency. The way I do that is I develop a point of view for each client. How can we help them? Take your research and say, what is my elevator pitch? What is my 30-second pitch on where we can help them that's unique and specific to them? Step 2 is you want to have an account plan, right? Execute an account plan, share the point of view with your team, decide how are we going to target, by when, set your goals. Every company's account planning strategy looks a little different, but the key is to make the account planning your own and have a plan that you can go out and execute. The third step is take ownership of prospecting. If you're like me, you have BDRs that also, help with your prospecting, but the reality is the BDRs for me are not experienced and tenured. So I want to own that messaging, especially to the C-suite. So I'm going to reach out with my point of view, with the areas I think I can help, to all the C-level executives, and then kind of have the BDRs poke around a little bit lower level to find the directors or managers that might be able to give us more information. But if we're really transforming a business, if we're doing a pitch that's truly going to help move the needle on our customers, we want to be targeting ourselves at the C-suite. Don't depend on other people to control your success and your messaging. And then the fourth area is help first, then sell. When you finally get these meetings, focused on helping and listening. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for one reason. So spend a lot of time understanding their challenges, understanding and asking questions related to, their business, and then show them how you can help them. Sometimes it's just giving them a referral. Sometimes it's just giving them advice, but always help first because that gives trust and credibility with your clients before you can sell. Thanks, everyone.